Hello Live Wires, Heather Boyd Wire here, and welcome to day 1 of the 10-day wire charm bracelet making challenge. Be sure to join the Facebook event page linked up below. You can share photos of your charm bracelet and charms to be eligible to win great prizes, including wire and tools from Beadalon, items from my Etsy shop, and templates and patterns for wire art and jewelry. You only need to make one charm per day, and at the end of the 10 days, you'll have a couple of extra days to finish up the whole bracelet. Today we're making 2 kinds of charm bracelets. For the first one, we are going to make some links. So we're going to use 20 and 18 gauge wire. We have our tools, and you can have an optional ring mandrel for the second design. So we are going to cut some pieces of 18 gauge wire, cut it flush, and then take your round pliers. I like these 6-step looping pliers to make the loops a consistent size. And we're just going to form an infinity sign to make a very simple link. So adjust it so the loops are about the same size. Just wiggle it around so that makes like a straight line there. And then we are going to clip it flush so it will just fit right in there. So cut it with your flush cutters, give it a good little clip, and then you see the ends meet up. So from there you can press it with your pliers. You can hammer it a little bit if you want it to be more firm. So I'm just flattening it out a little bit with my pliers to stiffen it up. And then make a bunch of those, and then I'm going to use another area of the looping pliers to make consistent sized jump rings. Of course you can use commercial jump rings, but it will match better if you make them yourself. So cut them flush. I have some other tutorials for jump rings that I'll link up below as well. So we're just going to make a bunch of jump rings, and then we're going to link all the infinity signs together with the jump rings. So close them up, give it a little pinch, and make it as long as you need for your bracelet. And then I'm going to make a simple hook. I'll just cut the end flush, make a little loop, using the looping pliers, and then with a larger area of the looping pliers, I'm going to form a simple hook. I have some other tutorials for more secure hooks that I will link up in the description below. And this is just a very simple one. And we're going to do a little loop. You can also use a commercial clasp if you're worried about the hook coming open. So make a tiny little loop on the other end, give it a tug to make it even smaller, and then cut them with your flush cutters. After that, we're going to get our flat pliers just to pinch in that little pokey end. Squeeze it in a little bit more if you need to, close the gap, wiggle it around. You can also flatten this a little bit or just tap it with the hammer to stiffen it up. Open it up and slide it on your bracelet. And close up that little end. And there you have a very simple and classic chain style charm bracelet. So for the second one, I'm using one long piece of wire that's 20 gauges. So we're just going to fold it in half and crisscross the ends and keep them out at a consistent angle because we're going to twist them. Just twist it around a couple of times. So we have a loop on the end, and then move up our looping pliers, crisscross again so it's centered. Wiggle it around so the little ends are centered. Keep them out at a consistent angle. Place the pliers and twist again. Couple of twisted. So we're just going to keep going with this to make as many loops as you're going to need to go around your wrist. And just try to keep those angles consistent so your twists are even. So once we have a long enough piece, I did about 7 inches, but I have very small wrists. We're going to bend one end straight up and then twist the other end around so it's very snug. And then we want to clip that end and pinch it in a little bit. And we're going to get our flat pliers and do a sharp bend at about 3/4 of an inch. Could be a little longer if you want the hook to be longer. Give it a pinch and wind that end around, catching the other end of the wire so it won't slide. Clip it with the flush cutters. And then we're going to pinch in that little end so it's not sharp. Wiggle the little loops around so they're even. They're all the same direction. And I'm using a bracelet mandrel from Beadalon. I'll link it up in the description below. You can also wind the wire around a large pill bottle or around form and just form it into the oval after. Or you might want to make it more like a round bangle. So remove it, and then we're just going to bend the end, little bend, and then round pliers, bend it back to make the hook. I made this one a little short, so you can definitely make the hook a little longer if you want. So we have a simple little loop, and then just push the other loop a little down at an angle so it'll be easy to hook in. I'll link up below some alternative methods to make charm bracelets if you prefer these other styles. So thanks so much for watching the video. Thank you to everybody who is participating in the challenge. If you are watching this after the challenge is over, you can still join the Facebook event page, and you can join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook to share photos of your wire art and jewelry. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.